Tucked away in one of the secret corners of French Polynesia lies an uninhabited atoll named Tahanea. This has long been a refuge for many a sailor. There are no villages, there is no internet or cell service, and the only other people are a handful of locals who make their living fishing and harvesting copra. The water is crystal clear and teeming with healthy coral, fish, and sharks. For many of us in our modern, technology-hungry age, this is a place to experience the world as it once was, untethered and uncontaminated by outside influences. Our hero, Holly Martin, spent 1 month here. She ran out of fresh food and foraged between the coral rocks of the Motus for that precious scurvy-banishing vitamin C. She swam in the passes, waved at sharks, and caught fish on the end of her fearsome spear. This is her story. Welcome to Winterpea Sailing. I'm single-handing migrant 27 around the world. I started my trip in Maine with a very cold 10-month overhaul of my entire boat. Solo sailed through the Caribbean, the Panama Canal, and 41 days alone across the Pacific. I've been cruising in French Polynesia for the last year and a half, kiting, spearfishing, freediving, and of course fixing all the things that break on my boat. Aboard the Gek, I have no fridge, water maker, fancy electronics, and my rowboat is a dinghy with a sail rig. If you're interested in seeing my daily life, check out my Instagram @BoatLizard. Okay, enjoy the episode. I've taken my trusty camera woman Maya with me on a purslane hunting expedition. I've brought my little basket, some scissors to cut it, and this is where I found it. So just across the water that you can see over there, there's a bunch of purslane hidden amongst the coral. Hi mate, so here you see a nice bit of purslane. Now this is a wild plane. Since I don't have a fridge, I can only harvest about 1 or 2 days worth of purslane at a time, but that's fine. It's a fun expedition, and that way I don't overtax one area. Alright, I'm just coming home. I have my basket here. I gave some to Maya. Look at the color of the water. Oh my god. You can see all the vommies. This is 30 feet deep here, and it's crystal clear. Put my dinghy on deck and head towards the other side of the atoll. I'm a little bit worried because there's not a lot of wind, and I am afraid to run my motor for more than about 45 minutes since my leak is really bad. So it's going to be adrift. That's why I'm leaving. I think it's 7:30 right now, and I'll have the whole day to get there. But the good thing is that the visibility is good, and that is almost more important, so I'll drift. I'm going to leave my sunshade up and just put up the head sail. I don't think having full sail would do much, and if I'm drifting, I'd rather be in the shade, to be honest. So. And usually it has yellow flowers on it, but maybe it's just not the flowering time of year, but it's the same stuff, and it's salty, I think, because the groundwater here is salty. It's super delicious, and it means I have vegetables whenever I want to. Even the red part is good. They're really good if you scramble eggs and add them in at the end. I just like to eat them raw, and honestly they don't even need any seasoning because of all the salt content in them, which is probably different than other purslanes that don't grow on coral reefs. Today I got up early to watch the sunrise. There were so many birds, it was insane. I was sitting on the beach on this driftwood log of coconut tree, drinking my coffee, watching the sun come up, and just watching the birds circling around and around overhead.
What do I believe? What makes me feel it to write you this song? 2 hours a day, 5 months and a year. Oh, I loved you too
Okay, I'm gonna try something new. Eve is a little bit close to me for this, so it's a little sketchy. But since I'm leaving up my sunshade, I'm not putting up the main. I'm gonna see if I can sail off my anchor using just my head sail. The problem is gonna be once the anchor is up, I'll start sailing and I have a reef on one side, shore on the other, and Eve on the other. So I'm gonna have to be speedy. Worst case, I just run back here and turn on my engine. That was a marathon, getting the anchor off this. I started to sail towards her boat. Check it out, no engine, head sail, upping anchor, success. Okay, there was a tiny squall this morning. I collected about this much water in the bottom of my bucket. I just poured it over my head. Oh, it feels good. I'm coming into the current of this pass, and since I'm already going so slowly, I'm not really sure what's gonna happen. So we'll see. Here we go. Can you hear it? Just arrived in the southeast corner of Tahanea. Where am I? I'm about to go dive on the anchor, but it seems like I dropped in a bunch of sand. Been running around. Do stuff on the deck. It's a hot day. Covered in sweat and sunscreen. It's gonna be my new country album. Alright, piss out. I spent just one tiny night in this other anchorage in Tahanea, and then the weather window that I was looking for to sail back to Fakarava just kind of popped up out of nowhere. So Maya was also looking for a ride back to Fakarava, so I took her on my boat and we made the 50-mile sail over. Alright, we're making it out of the pass. And this view. Yeah, full sail. Coming out the pass, we upped anchor on sail 2, so far no engine. Maybe we can do the whole thing with no engine. Yeah. Tarifa will be going in with the current, and then if we can pick up a mooring, we can pick it up under sail.
Oh, all right, that's the goal.
No engine.
Yes.
Atoll. Here we go.
We'll do it.
Oh, look at this.
So beautiful. The wind is really nice right now. We're savoring the moment because we know. Oh shit.
Fire goes everywhere. Just don't drop the GoPro.
All right.
Great footage.
I'll take it with me to the depth of the ocean.
So I just dropped Maya off in the pass so that she can snorkel her way in. And I'm still under sail only. I had to take down the head sail because I'm dead downwind and it was just fluffering around. I have a little bit of current with me. It's slightly incoming. I'm really hoping that the wind is strong enough that I can finish this sail from anchor to anchor experience. But it's possible that once I turn the corner and I'm in the shelter of this Motu, that I won't have enough wind and I'll have to put the engine on to beat the current. So we'll see. It's a really mellow night, basically no wind. We kind of just drifted, but we didn't have far to go, so it was cool. I just pulled up the head sail because I was starting to get set onto the side of the pass. So hopefully now I can fight the current a bit better. This is the course, and right now, wind and sails, everything is looking really good. So far so good. Still under sail, the wind is coming back. I am getting set a little bit reef here, but I think I can stay off. Slack low is a little scary because it's dropping 16 feet. I'm about to hit the shallow bit, but I'm going 4.5 knots, and the wind just filled back in, so prospects are looking good. 6 knots! This is so cool. It's 20 feet deep again. Yeah, this is really fun. It's so quiet without the engine too. You can see the bottom. It's about 15 feet deep here. I just got my mooring line out of the back locker, and I'm gonna free the boat hook in a second because there's only one other boat here and it's a motor thing and it's not moored. So there's 3 free moorings. I have my choice. So once I get closer, I'll drop the head sail and then try to pick up the mooring under main. Alright, I'm approaching the moorings. I'm going to round up, drop my head sail, tie it up, get the boat hook and the line ready, and then steer a little bit downwind and take this middle mooring that I can see here, because, I don't know, that's the one I want. Alright, I'm all set up. I'm approaching the mooring. Dun, dun. I'm approaching it with a beam wind so that at the last minute I can turn up. I will loosen my main sheet so that it spills the wind out of the sail and I don't sail over the mooring. And then let the tiller loose, because then the boat steers itself into the wind. And this is the best way if you're alone to pick up a mooring under sail. The most important thing is that your main sail is your engine, and just like you cut your engine once you've approached the mooring, you want to make sure that your sail is spilling as much wind as possible as you're approaching. So it's kind of like timing. It's sort of like if you have to shut off your engine as you're coming up to the mooring, when do you do that? Same idea with the sail, although it never truly gets shut off, you're just depowering it a little bit. So here we have, I'm keeping the mooring on my upwind side, and this way I'm not going to be too far downwind, because with just the main it's really hard to work your way upwind. So we'll see how well I do. Alright, Tahanea to Fakarava, off anchor to on to mooring, full sail, 2 passes, no engine, just sails. Thanks for watching this week's video. I put out new videos on YouTube every 2 weeks on Mondays, and for my patrons, you guys get a snack on the videos when I don't put out a full-length YouTube. Wow, that made no sense. On the weeks that I don't put out a full-length YouTube video. Right now on my Patreon snacks, I'm reading aloud from the journal that I kept on my 41-day solo Pacific crossing. So if you're interested in hearing about my thoughts and feelings and things that I didn't video or didn't talk about in my films, you can sign up for my Patreon for as little as $1 a month and have access to all of that extra content. Thank you so much to my patrons who are supporting me. I have so many lovely messages from you guys, some people from the New England area, a lot of people who are thinking about buying boats or have bought boats but haven't left yet for sailing, so that's super cool. Thank you, Tish, for helping me schedule these videos on YouTube. She's kind of my manager in a way. Since I upload a lot of these, you know, a couple at a time, she sort of helps me get them all where they need to be and reminds me when I need to do YouTube. So I couldn't do it without you. And thank you guys for all your lovely comments. I'm turning into a different accented person now. And I think that's all. Ooh, stay tuned. Something new at the end that I want you guys to see. Okay, this is the new segment I'm doing called Extra Endy Bonus Content. I haven't actually thought of the name, but maybe that'll be it. It's because my videos usually lag a couple months behind where I actually am, and this is for a lot of reasons. One is that I am often in places where I don't have access to cell or Wi-Fi, which would either be at sea or uninhabited atolls like Tahanea, and so I like to give myself a little bit of a buffer so I can stockpile a couple episodes at a time, and then I have a month or two where I don't have to worry about finding internet, because even the atolls that have internet a lot of times isn't good enough to upload videos. So I thought what would be fun is at the end of every video, if I just do a tiny little tour of where I am at the time of editing said video. So right now I'm editing the Tahanea bit. And fun fact, this one actually fell over my birthday and Christmas. So although I don't mention it in the video just because they come out so much later than the actual time and that might be confusing, some of it was filmed on my birthday and some of it was filmed on Christmas, which is kind of fun. So right now I am in Raiatea, which is in the Society Islands, and let me spin the camera to give you guys a view of what's behind my boat. Ta-da! So these are mountainous areas surrounded by beautiful reef, and Raiatea, it's not as stunningly impressive as Moorea, but it's still super beautiful. It is hot, hot, hot today. This little camera doesn't have good wind protection, so I'm going to go back down below. Oh, my workstation today. Most important part, I think, is the fan. And then I have my laptop, trusty. My treat for being done editing today is getting to go for a swim because I'm sweltering. And I'm trying to time it so that right around 12 I'll take a break, the hottest part of the day, and go for a nice swim, and then come back, finish the edit, upload it today so that you guys can have it tomorrow, which is Monday. I've sort of put this one off a bit, but so it goes. We can't all be perfect. Okay, I hope you guys liked this segment. For those of you who did stick around to the end to watch it, let me know what you think about it. And if there's anything else you'd like to see at the end of my videos that I can show you of what I'm actually doing in real time. Alright, peace out.